Anyway, long story short, it's a cult. It's a cult. Hello, I'm Kristen, also known as Voolenvine, here on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Ravelry, and pretty much everywhere else on the interwebs. And as always, I'm so happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about all the knitting, all the sewing, all the making, or whatever crafty rabbit hole I happen to be diving down this week. And you guys, I have a full show for you. I've got lots to share with you. Works in progress, sewing, fabric hauls, yarn hauls, I don't know, lots to share with you. As always, we have our 2-year-long make-alongs that are currently underway. There's the Box O' Socks knit-along, and then there's the Year of the Garment make-along that is happening over in the Voolenvine Ravelry group, which, by the way, if you have not joined, I highly recommend that you do if you want to partake in the chatter surrounding this YouTube channel, or partake in our make-alongs, or if you're looking for inspiration as to what to cast on for these make-alongs, hop on over there. So much wonderful conversation happening and inspiration in those threads, so check it out. And then we also have the PractiKAL, which I announced a couple weeks ago, and the whole idea behind the PractiKAL is to make something that you are going to want to reach for on a daily basis, or that's going to go with a majority of the things in your wardrobe. And yeah, I feel kind of like a Debbie Downer hosting this knit along or make along, because Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi and Tommy from Squirrel Prodictions, they're doing the complete opposite. Gabby is hosting the Swan-along, where you make things that you can flounce around in, swan around in, and Tommy is hosting the Flashy along, where you make anything that's super flashy, garish, any adjective or synonym that goes along with the word flashy. Bob's your uncle, you make it. So I have a funny feeling that I'm probably going to be dipping into both of those make-alongs, because let's face it, there are only so many practical things that I can whip up before I start to get bored. Because yeah, I do love making fun. Not to say what I'm currently working on for the PractiKAL isn't fun, but it's practical. It goes with a lot of things, and you know, my brain is gonna want some color. It's gonna want some fun stitches to work on. Anyway, yeah, definitely check those out. I will post a link in the description box below to the episodes where they announce those make-alongs, but they should be a lot of fun. And those of you that are partaking in the PractiKAL, you guys have been just so awesome about this. Like, I'm so excited that you guys are excited for this make-along. A lot of people have already been posting in the Ravelry group, sharing their whips, their already FOs, and patterns that they plan to cast on or sew. And again, you don't just have to knit. You can knit, you can crochet, you can sew, you can weave, whatever you fancy, as long as, you know, you feel like it's practical and gonna, you know, be something that you want to reach for on a regular basis in your wardrobe. I think that is it for announcements, guys. I am gonna get into what I've been making this week, but first, just a quick word from my lovely and amazing sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in design, business, tech, and more, even sewing and the fiber arts. I love learning new things when it comes to knitting, sewing, photography, or whatever crafty rabbit hole I happen to be diving down. And because I know you love learning new things too, I partnered up with Skillshare, and they are offering my viewers 2 months free to try their platform. So give Skillshare a go and learn something new. Just click on the link in the description box below, entering the code at checkout, and enjoy. And thanks, Skillshare. And welcome back. Okay, I only have one work in progress to share with you this week. I have been relatively monogamous. I have been working on my shawl design, which I know I promised last week that I would have it finished for you guys this week. But I've hit a wall. Not a bad wall, just a wall. Yeah, I have the body knit. I just have to figure out the border for the shawl. And it's just a matter of me doing a bunch of math, making my brain hurt, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, the thing is, like, I know how it ends. It's like being a writer. I know where the story is. I know what's gonna happen in the story. I just have to figure out how to get there, you know, if that makes any sense. So that's where I am with my shawl design. But I'm very, very excited about it, and I really hope that I have it finished to share with you on the next episode. But I'm looking at it because it's over there. on a pile of stuff that I'm working on. But anyway, what I do have to share with you this week is my Mazzy Cardigan, a pattern by Elizabeth Smith, and this is currently in pieces, but I have finished the body. Here's the body, guys. It is done. It is a cardigan knit from the bottom up, then you knit the sleeves, and then you join it all and knit the rest of the body, which has raglan shaping on the shoulders, if that makes sense. But yeah, right now this is just a black rectangle with pockets. And yeah, again, it's really hard to see because the yarn is so dark, but this is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, which is their worsted weight yarn in a worsted weight in their cast iron colorway. So it's just this really kind of squidgy type of I always like, whenever I feel Brooklyn Tweed knit up, it always feels spongy. I don't know. I know that's a terrible adjective to describe Brooklyn Tweed yarn because it is a lovely yarn, and it's, in the past I've been on the fence about knitting with Brooklyn Tweed, especially their loft, because I find it's very fragile yarn. But when it knits up, it's the stitches hold together and it creates a really sturdy fabric. But in the past, I found that the yarn has a tendency to pull apart very easily, just in my experience. But again, once it's knit up together, the fabric is very sturdy. So anyway, if that makes any sense. So yeah, but yeah, right now this is just a giant knitted rectangle that is going to be joined to a sleeve, which I finished. Can you believe it, guys? I'm halfway off Sleeve Island. So again, like the pattern says, to knit, I think I want to say like 18 or 19 inches from the cast on edge, and I just added an extra inch because if you know me, I like pulling my sleeves over my knuckles like this. I'm one of those people. But anyway, yeah, so it's gonna have long, cozy sleeves. And yeah, I did the arm shaping, and I have to say it does not feel like sausage casing on my arms. She sized, Elizabeth Smith sized the arms wonderfully, so no complaints on that end. And yeah, I am currently, I just cast on this morning, but I cast on the cuff for the second sleeve. So hopefully by this weekend I will have a second sleeve, and then I can join everything in the round and have my practical cardigan that will go with everything in my wardrobe because it's black. So that's where I'm at with my Mazzy cardigan. And yeah, just a really wonderful, simple pattern. Very relaxing. I've just been watching YouTube videos, podcasts, and stuff on Amazon Prime, which I'll talk about more in the BLATHER segment. Guys, I am functioning on very little sleep and a lot of caffeine this morning, so I apologize if I'm just a little bit bleary-eyed and chatty today. So anyway, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about that. So that is all the knitting that I have to share with you this week. I've been pretty monogamous, as I mentioned, with my cardigan and my shawl design. However, a new pattern, not a new pattern, but another pattern is currently on my radar and queued up to cast on as soon as I possibly can, because I have actually been binge watching the Fruity Knitting podcast. It's a podcast or a YouTube channel that I really enjoy watching, and it's been a while since I've been able to catch up with them. But recently, I just started watching them again. And Andrea, one of the hosts, first of all, Andrea makes, I love her aesthetic when it comes to garments, the garments that she makes. She always tackles super challenging, like drool-worthy colorwork patterns that I'm so in awe with. You know, but she's an incredibly monogamous knitter, so it's no mystery why she is able to finish these things in a timely manner, whereas I just cast things on willy-nilly and never finish anything. But anyway, I fell in love with something she recently made. She made the Nightingale pullover by Norah Gaughn, which was featured on the cover of a past issue of Pom Pom. I have this issue, and it's seriously my favorite issue to date from Pom Pom. Pretty much any knitting magazine, come to think of it, because it has all these, first of all, it was edited by Norah Gaughn, and the whole theme behind the issue was like strong Victorian warrior women, and total, like the whole theme just makes my heart sing. It's just got my name all over it, and I want to make everything in that issue. I've just never gotten around with it, gotten around to it until I watched an episode of Fruity Knitting, and Andrea was wearing the cover. She made the sweater from the cover, the Nightingale pullover, and I was just like, I need to make that sweater. I want that to be my Rhinebeck sweater. So yeah, you guys, I ordered the yarn. I got some, it should be arriving today actually, but I did purchase some yarn from Webs. I got some FiberCo in their Lore base, which I believe is 100% Highland wool. I could be wrong. I'll pop it in the down bar, all the information, but if you follow me, FiberCo is easily like one of my favorite yarn makers. So yeah, I have a couple of their skeins in my stash. Let me see. I have yarn. Dennis actually bought me this to make the Weekender, but this is their Aaron Moore, Donegal Heritage, I should say. Anyway, I'm totally digressing, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of the FiberCo, and I am excited to make the Nightingale pullover by Norah Gaughn in the yarn that I purchased and should be arriving today. But first, I want to finish my Mazzy cardigan. That has to get finished first before I cast on. But in the meantime, I can swatch. I can swatch for the Nightingale, and fingers crossed I shall have it as a Rhinebeck sweater, which by the way is coming up, you guys. Rhinebeck, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's coming up. Yeah. It's going to be October next month, and I am actually only going up for the day. I'm going up Saturday with Dennis, and that is it. So yeah, I'm not doing the long stay over weekend. I'm unfortunately not going to India Untangled. Yeah, to be honest, I really wanted to take it easy this year. I've been going up to Rhinebeck every single year for the past, I don't know, 10, 11 years, which is crazy sauce. I mean, it makes sense because I'm only like, what, an hour and a half away. But yeah, I like last year was really fun. Laura came down and we got a hotel and we went Friday and Saturday and had a blast, but long weekends like that takes so much out of me. So this year I'm going to take things a little easier, but still I'm going to plan some meetups with friends, and hopefully if you are going, I will run into you and say hello. But more details to follow. I just thought I would mention that I am going on Saturday and hope to see you there. But yeah, and hopefully I will have a Nightingale pullover to show for it. Yeah, anyway, on to the next segment, which is sewing. Yeah, so I have a finished garment that I want to share with you, but also let's talk about this lovely lady behind me first. Last week I introduced her to you. She is my adjustable Dressform that is manufactured by Dritz. I purchased it off of Amazon. I'm blanking on I think it's like Dritz My Body Double or something like that. But yeah, she's got a whole bunch of dials on here that you can adjust to suit your body measurements and shape. And last week I was still trying to figure out what to call her, so I asked you lovely viewers to give me some suggestions. And you guys, there were so many wonderful, awesome name suggestions. It was really, really hard to choose, but one popped out at me that I was just like, yes, that is it. And I don't want to forget who suggested this, but TheKcarmack suggested Edith Headless. Yeah, Edith it is. So my other dress form, Margot, has a new friend named Edith. So Margot and Edith, they're best friends now. They get along swimmingly, and yeah. So TheKcarmack, thank you so much for that wonderful suggestion, and to everybody else for all your other suggestions. But yes, Edith Headless it is, and Margot the mannequin. They are now part of my craft room, and I love it. And yeah, so far she's been very, very useful, because yeah, she helped me out, because if I'm trying to like pin out fabric on a garment that I've made, it's really hard for me to do it on my own person, and not that Dennis wouldn't help me out, it's just I preferred not to bug him about that stuff. But anyway, she's been a huge help for me, and as I mentioned, Margot is also a huge help. While she looks beautiful, in anything she wears, she is not my body double. She's not my clone, because she has a size, while I have a size 26-inch waist, she has a size 26-inch waist. I have a 32-inch bust and she's a little bit bustier. So yeah, you know, I think she's like a size, a 36-inch bust, so a little more bustier than me. But Edith, she's my clone. She's my clone and she helps me out, and you know, it's awesome. So in case you're curious, Margot is actually wearing she's borrowing my Exploration Station at the moment, a pattern by Stephen West, and she's wearing it because she's a little bit exposed underneath. She's wearing a bra because, fun fact, if you are in the market for a dress form, the thing to do is to purchase a dress. If you can't find one that's in your exact size and you don't want to get the adjustable form, get one that has smaller measurements than your own, because this way you can pad out. You can buy pads, batting, and pad the form so it has your exact measurements. And yeah, so, and you don't want to get one that has a larger size measurements, because you can't take away that extra sizing, if that makes sense. So yeah, you always want to get one that has smaller measurements and then pad out from there. And yeah, Margot, while she does have my bust measurement, I set her to have a size 32 bust like I do. But when you are working with the dress form, you always want to put on undergarments that you want to put on the undergarments that you're going to be wearing under your outer garments, if that makes sense. So yeah, I do have a bra on her that I wear, or an older bra that I no longer wear as often, but she's wearing that, so I know what the finished garment is going to look like over my own body with my undergarments on. So yeah, just a little fun fact there. Yeah, let's get into what I am wearing. As I mentioned last week, I had a little hiccup sewing the Ash jeans, another wonderful pattern by Megan Nielsen. I am taking a little bit of a break from those because I did mess up on on the zipper area on the fly. Of all places, I had to mess up on the crotch. But anyway, it's on a little timeout, and plus I'm not rushing to make a pair of pants because I don't really wear pants that often. So, but I do love the challenge of making a pair of denim jeans. So those have not been forgotten. I have the fabric cut out, but in the meantime, to kind of you know, make me feel a little better about my mistake, I decided to start making another Anna dress. So I've made it and I finished it, and it's on my person, and I love it. I love it, you guys. Yeah, so let me stand up. This is a pattern by Hand London. This is one of the first patterns I've ever attempted to make as a newbie sewist. And I've made it like about 6 times over, and this must be like my 6th or 7th incarnation of it, but yeah, it has pleats here. You're not going to be able to see this because the fabric is so busy, but it has pleats here which create the, I don't know, the bust shaping, if that makes sense. And then it also has some pleats in the back and an invisible zipper down the back. For previous versions, I had been franken-piecing a gathered skirt from other patterns to the bodice of my other Anna dresses. So for this one, I didn't want to make a gathered skirt for this version, so I actually, for the first time, printed out the midi length version of the skirt of the actual pattern. If that makes any sense. Anyway, I made the actual version B of the pattern, and I think it came out wonderfully. The only hack that I did is I added pockets, inseam pockets. This was super easy to do. I mean, at this point in my life, pockets are non-negotiable. They have to be in everything that I sew and make. Yeah, and the fabric is by Art Gallery in a challis, I want to say. Yeah, it is a rayon challis fabric, which has really wonderful drape, and it's perfect for this type of dress. It has like a little swing to it. It's lightweight. But yeah, that is my Anna dress. So I definitely want to make another one, I think, just because I love the shape of this so much, and it suits my style so much. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be making more of these, absolutely. But yeah, let's get into what else I plan to make, because I did get a little fabric haul. And I do have a couple of things on my PractiKAL that I still have to make. I think this weekend I'm actually going to make another Scroop Fantel skirt. Yeah, another it's kind of like a modern take on an Edwardian walking skirt. So it's by Scroop Patterns, and I'll pop something in the sidebar so you know what I'm talking about. And I made a black linen version of this, and it didn't get as much wear over the summer because I made it out of a fabric that was linen, which generally is not a problem, but this one was just like a lint magnet. So I could sit on anything and it would just pick up whatever I don't know. It was just a magnet for a lot of dust and everything. So I'm not a huge fan of the fabric that I used, but I do have this really awesome kind of tweedy chambray. I want to say, is this chambray or linen? I think it's like a linen blend, but I think this is going to be perfect for autumn, and it's going to be great for that pattern. So let me see if you can see it. Yeah, so even if it does have linen, I have to check to see what the fiber content is in this, but if you can see, yeah, it's kind of like this mocha, like tweedy brown color. And I think this is going to be a great version of the fantail skirt. Yeah, with like a black top and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's one project that I have in mind. The other one, the other one is very ambitious, actually. If you've been following this podcast, you know I have been working on, I did make a coat recently before summer happened. And I'll pop that in the sidebar. I still have to take photographs of me wearing it, but I'm blanking on it, but I believe it's a McCall's pattern, or Butterick. I forget. But anyway, sidebar. But yeah, while I love the way it turned out, the fabric I feel like is just a little too heavy. Like that's going to be like a really fancy, warm winter coat, I feel like. But the fact that it's just so heavy and so dramatic, I'm not going to be able to wear it every single day. And then I stumbled on the Rumana, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Rumana Coat by Hand London, the same designer who made this pattern, the Anna dress. I stumbled on it and I was just like, that is exactly what I need. So I'm going to be making that pattern. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this weekend. I think I really want to make a muslin for it because I did treat myself to some really nice fabric for this coat. And as I mentioned, I have a serious Liberty fabric addiction, and if I'm going to make a special coat for myself, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to treat myself. So I purchased, let me see, this really lovely, well, first of all, let's talk about the exterior fabric. This is wool cashmere coating that I got, obviously, from fabric.com. And it is really, really, really soft, luxurious wool cashmere fabric. So this is going to be really beautiful. And I know cashmere has a tendency to pill, so I anticipate that I'm probably going to have to shave this, if from time to time, if not a little more frequently. But I think how I'm going to test it out is cut off a little swatch. I forgot where I heard this trick. It might have been Fruity Knitting, but one of the designers say, cut out a little swatch, put it in your handbag for a week and see how, I mean, this is referring to like a swatch of knit fabric, but I'm sure the same applies to sewing fabric as well. So yeah, the idea is to cut off a little swatch, put it in your purse or handbag or what have you, satchel, rucksack, let it bump around in there for a week or 2 weeks and see how the fabric behaves. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this, to see how it can take wear and tear. But yeah, really, really excited for this fabric. And then for the lining is where I went all out. Liberty fabric, guys. Silk. 100% silk. It's going to go in the coat. No one's going to see it except for me. I'm the only one that's going to know it's there, and that's the whole point. Its lining is like lingerie because no one else has to see it except you. Yeah, so anyway, this is, again, Liberty fabric in their Strawberry Thief print, I believe. So they have like a couple different colorways, but I think this is the gray version. And it has these, it's very, very William Morris, Art Nouveau style, which I am absolutely obsessed with. And it has these little birds. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but it has like these little birds and floral motifs, and oh, it's just so good. It's so good. Yeah, so that is going to be my fancy schmancy project for the PractiKAL. And I guess it goes into the Swan-along as well, because it's going to be practical and Swanish. So, Gabby, if double dipping is okay, I'm in. Yeah, so what else do I want to make? I did get a couple of other things because, when you're buying fabric, you gotta get some other stuff. I did pick up a couple of sweater fabrics. This one I might return it. It didn't look this pink on the website. It looked more mauve. It looked more mauve on the website. But this is more on the ballerina dusty pink side, I want to say. But I still like it. I think it would be really cute over like a black tulle skirt. Something that I also want to make for myself. Yeah, because everyone needs a black tulle skirt in their life, I think. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But there's that. It's, it's very, very fluffy and cozy, and I might have trouble parting with this fabric, but we shall see. We shall see. But this one I did get for a practical black cardigan. Not as I don't want one. I don't want this to be as long as my Mazzy cardigan, the one that I'm knitting. But this is just basic sweater fabric. It has like a little heather to it as well, but it's just a basic knit. Not jersey fabric, but just like a sweater knit, I want to say. It's also very cozy. So yeah, I haven't decided on a pattern for that yet, but I just know it needs to be a black cardigan that I can chuck over a dress or what have you. So yeah, that is my sewing that I had to share with you this week. So yeah, I've got a lot that I want to accomplish, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make the time to accomplish all this, given that I have work to do during the day. I have to dye yarn, and not that I have to, I want to and enjoy it. But yeah, I do enjoy sewing as well and knitting all the things. So yeah, just trying to carve out that time for myself. I think I need to take a week off to make this all happen. But I don't know. I'm tossing ideas around in my brain and just thinking out loud, as I usually do on the podcast. Yeah, so I think that is it for sewing. I'm going to move along to the blather segment, as if I haven't been blathering already. Just chatting about life stuff, should you care to stick around. But just a little heads up about my shop update tomorrow, Friday, September 20th. I am, if you are not familiar, the dyer behind Voolenvine yarns, and usually every week I have an update, either on a Friday or a Saturday. This week it is on a Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and as always, you can find out about what colorways and bases are going to be in each update by signing up to my newsletter, and you can do that by going to my website, voolenvineyarns.com, and clicking on the newsletter link, entering your information, and every week you will get something in your inbox giving you the details and the lowdown about all my shop updates and stuff, news surrounding Voolenvine yarns. So yeah, I hope you can make it. Thank you as always to all my wonderful customers and those who check out my updates every week. It means so much. So yes. All right. Let's chat life stuff as I clutch my mini heater right here, because yeah, the weather is turning chilly, you guys. It is, I believe, in the lower 60s today. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's a little chilly. It's on the nippy side. So yeah, the windows are closed. I'm clutching some tea, hot tea. And this is Higher Living organic tea in their chili cocoa flavor. Yeah, it's actually quite good. I like it. I did recently purchase a David's Tea haul because I realized I was running low on David's Tea. I actually took a break from purchasing from them for a while just because it gets a little crazy. You get, obsessed with ordering from them, and before you know it, you have all these flavors, and yeah, anyway, I digress. So yeah, I have another order of David's Tea coming in the mail. I got some really exciting flavors, which you're probably going to be hearing about in weeks to come. Not that I'm sponsored, just a fan and tea drinker. And yeah, this is my mug that I purchased from, I got this in Cape Cod, in Chatham. They have this really awesome gift shop there that I like going into. They have a lot of, whimsical knickknacks and tchotchkes and tchotchkes, or is it tchotchkes? I think it's tchotchkes. Yeah, anyway. Lots of fun stuff in there. I don't remember the name of it, but I like that store and I like this mug. It has all mer people on it. Mermen, mer women, mer dogs, mer cats. Yeah, lots of fun stuff happening on there. Anyway, but yeah, you want to hear about life stuff, not what's in my teacup and what cup I'm drinking from. And I'm extra rambly this week, guys, as predicted. As I mentioned. So Dennis and I actually went to the movies last night, or the cinema. There are several movie theaters in Brooklyn, and I'm sure this is nothing new. You probably have something similar to where you live, but it's a movie theater where they serve you dinner and drinks while you watch the movie. While the idea of it sounds fun, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, the drinks, sure, but I am not a fan of eating my food in the dark. I don't know what it is. First of all, it's like the stuff that they serve there is like bar food. Dennis likes it, whatever, but I just have a problem eating my food in the dark. I hate not being able to see what I'm eating. And also, it's like you're in a movie theater. People are trying to watch the movie, yet the sound of people eating next to me, and I feel like I'm being rude eating next to people. Like, okay, popcorn, fine. Snacks, fine. But like a full course meal, I'm just like, I can't do this. I'm not here for this. I don't know. I'm such a party pooper. But anyway, yeah, we did that last night. And we saw this movie called Midsommar. And I'm probably mispronouncing that. But I feel like it's an independent horror flick genre, so to speak. And the previews for it looked really good. I love this type of stuff all the time. Like, I love horror films. I think they're fine. It's just, I find in my as I get older, the less and less I'm able to stomach blood and gore. I don't know what it is. I used to love that stuff when I was younger. Now it's like I just can't watch it. But I still like sitting through that stuff. You know, like of course I close my eyes during the blood and gore parts, but you know, the storyline itself, it's like, yeah, give me more, show me more. But yeah, so this movie, I don't know. I did not like this movie at all. But anyway, the movie itself was about this couple, I believe they were in college. They're supposed to be in college, but they did not look like college students. But anyway, the girlfriend's boyfriend invites her along on this trip to Sweden with his friends, his classmates, and they drive all the way out to this Swedish commune or community where they're out in the middle of nowhere, but you know, they're doing all these rituals. And anyway, long story short, it's a cult. It's a cult. And you know, the girl, she wants to get out, but her boyfriend's like, no, let's stick it out. I want to do my thesis here on these people. It's so interesting. And you know, I'm not going to give anything away, but the storyline just made me so uncomfortable. Just like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I just really wasn't enjoying the storyline. And I don't know. I just did not enjoy it. And it's one of those movies where it like ends and you just need like a day or two to process what you just saw and what happened and analyze things. Like it definitely makes you like sit and think a little bit about what just happened type of thing. But anyway, yeah, after a long week, I was just kind of in the mood to check out and watch a horror movie and something that really didn't make me think too much. But anyway, yeah, if you're into that type of thing, you know, definitely check it out. I'll link to the IMDb below if you want to watch the preview. But the other thing that I've been watching, and a couple of you actually suggested that I check this out. I know Christy from Yarn Cafe Creations and Darcy, hello, they recommended that I check out, what is it? Totally having a brain fart here. Carnival Row, and it's produced by Amazon. I checked out the first 2 episodes. It's with Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne, and it's not about a carnival, but it's a fictional, like it takes place in Victorian times, like a fantasy Victorian world, and it's humans coexisting with fae. So I can completely understand why they suggested this show to me, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know, I'm 2 episodes in, so I can't really give it my, you know, full-on opinion, but you know, I'm still warming up to the characters and the storyline and figuring out what's happening and everything. But yeah, so far I'm actually really enjoying it. It's nice knitting TV. So yeah, definitely check that out. And again, I will link to all these in the down bar below. description box below. I always want to say down bar, but anyway, description box below. I think I'm gonna end things there, guys. Thank you as always for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe below. I put out an episode, or try to at least, every Friday for your viewing pleasure. And yeah, that said, happy knitting, happy sewing, happy making, and I will see you next time. Bye!